This Family Life News podcast is made possible by the support of listeners like you.
Next on the 5 o'clock report.
Such a thing will not happen again on their soil.
Parents have already started to be up in arms about this.
Young women, they don't value having children.
Having males in a girl's locker room or vice versa can drastically change someone's opinion about their body.
Family's everything. We got you, bud.
Now, let's go to the newsroom.
Good afternoon and welcome to the broadcast. I'm Family Life News anchor Sarah Harnish. Fallout after Israel launched strikes on a major U.S. ally today, Qatar, assassinating 5 Hamas leaders.
For the very first time, Israel has struck Doha, Qatar.
CBS News on the ground.
Explosions rocked the Qatari capital of Doha, sending smoke into the sky and tensions even higher.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu just spoke.
They perpetrated the worst attack on the Jewish people since the Holocaust. Now, they were meeting in the same place, exactly the same place, where they celebrated this savagery almost 2 years ago.
Qatar was a mediator in talks to end the war in Gaza and now says it will not participate in further negotiations for now. Reporter Ramy Inocencio.
This does call into question, though, if some or if many or potentially even all of Hamas's senior leadership have been killed. Where does that leave negotiations if there is no one, at least high level, to talk to?
President Trump had a swift response.
The president spoke to the Emir and Prime Minister of Qatar. He assured them that such a thing will not happen again on their soil.
Cities across the United States are pushing back against President Trump's ramp up of immigration enforcement. In Chicago,
we don't need no troops over here.
The Department of Homeland Security says Operation Midway Blitz will target criminal aliens who flock to the Windy City because of sanctuary policies.
We will not be intimidated.
In Los Angeles, Mayor Karen Bass was angered by the 6-3 decision Monday by the U.S. Supreme Court in Trump's favor that gave ICE agents more power to question immigrants.
The Supreme Court has undermined the rights of millions.
And in Pennsylvania, Governor Josh Shapiro says his office will be prepared if President Trump deploys National Guard troops to the Commonwealth.
I think what the president's doing is wrong. I think what the president's doing injects chaos in communities, and I can tell you that we are prepared should he decide to try that here.
Philadelphia is on the short list of cities the Trump administration may send troops to help curb violence. Constitutional law scholar Mark Smith breaks it all down.
There's over 2 million illegal aliens in the Los Angeles area. ICE are the experts on this topic. They know what to look for, and it's under federal statutory law, unambiguous, that you can briefly detain someone to ask them a series of questions if you reasonably suspect that they're in the country illegally.
The cost of COVID. New data out at midnight last night shows reading scores for high school seniors nationwide are at a 20-year low post-pandemic.
Parents have already started to be up in arms about this. You see parents who are now going to school board meetings. They're more involved in school board elections. They're paying more attention to the curriculum that their children are being taught because they're looking at these scores and they're saying, we have to improve this.
Department of Education Secretary Linda McMahon spoke with Fox News about it.
We're spending a ton of money on education. We've spent $3 trillion since the Department of Education was established, only to see scores continuing to decline. That's a trend we have to stop.
McMahon says there's too much government. She says cash for education needs to go back to the states.
I think the money's not being spent where it needs to be spent, and that's at the states. And that's why the president and I are certainly on a mission to return education to the states.
Tennessee is now the first state in the nation to mandate gun safety training for public school students. The new law addresses gun-related tragedies and accidental shootings. Students will learn basic firearm safety practices. The curriculum will be carried out by each school district and will not involve real guns or ammunition. And a new NBC News poll shows Gen Z men rank getting married and having kids much higher on their priority list than Gen Z women do. Charlie Kirk with Turning Point USA.
If you look deeper into this data, it's completely consistent with other data we've seen the last couple of years. Young women, they don't value having children. And this is one of the reasons why we are seeing a fertility collapse in the West. We're seeing less and less young people get married. We're seeing more and more people go into their 30s to have children.
Still to come on the 5 o'clock report, a quarter mile of a Pennsylvania neighborhood evacuated today. One school board stands up to the transgender movement and honoring our soldiers. A massive gravestone cleaning project complete. Those stories after weather.
Hi, I'm Kevin Williams, and here is your Family Life regional weather forecast for tonight. Beautiful evening. It'll be cool to chilly again overnight, and again, there'll be patchy fog in the usual suspect valley locations. Late and low temperatures, 40s and low 50s generally. Then for tomorrow and Thursday, good deal of sunshine, some patchy cloudiness now and again, and seasonally warm with high temperatures ranging in the 70s to near 80.
Thank you, Kevin. Checking the stories making news where you live across New York and Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania State Police evacuated a Lebanon County neighborhood to remove explosives today. WGAL reporter Sarah Met.
Pennsylvania State Police evacuated this area as they worked to remove those explosive devices. They actually called it a post-blast radius. Troopers say that they have their HDES unit on scene, which actually stands for Hazardous Device and Explosive Section.
Here is what we know. The PSP evacuated residents within a quarter-mile radius of a home in Mill Creek Township near Erie. They held a press conference at 2 p.m. saying the site is now safe, but they're not giving any other information. We'll keep you posted as more is released. Protesters have set up shop outside a U.S. Customs and Border Protection office in central New York. They're demonstrating against recent ICE raid at a family-owned business in Cayuga County. 70 Latino workers were taken away last week during a surprise law enforcement operation.
It's scary. It's traumatizing for sure.
Humans deserve rights, and we need to enforce that for them. We have to be the voice for those that are voiceless.
I know how hard it is, and I became a citizen about 9 years ago. And I understand the plight of so many of these people.
The Cayuga County Sheriff says the raid was the result of an investigation into felony-level crimes. The Berwick, Pennsylvania School Board has approved 2 new policies on transgender issues. One mandates students use the restrooms and locker rooms of their sex at birth, the sex that appears on their birth certificate. This student supports that policy in the name of privacy.
Having males in a girl's locker room or vice versa could drastically change someone's opinion about their body, making them feel even more self-conscious than we already are. I support the policies being voted on tonight.
The other district decision mandates transgender students get permission from their parents before any name change is adopted at school. District resident Daniel Jensen likes the sound of that.
These are children that you should be loving on for the gender that they are. Teach your little boys to grow up and be men. Teach your little girls to grow up and be good women. You don't try to coerce them into some other gender.
No word yet when the new policies take effect. And volunteers in one Pennsylvania town just wrapped up a 2-year effort to refurbish 1,300 gravestones at the Pennsylvania Soldiers and Sailors Veterans Memorial Cemetery. Volunteer Mary Jane Koenig told Jet TV in Erie.
I always wanted to honor these veterans and all veterans. These veterans that rest here in this cemetery, it's the only Pennsylvania State military cemetery, and now it just looks beautiful. I'm so excited for everyone to see it.
Volunteer coordinator Ken Vribel.
It guarantees that people will spend time, pay attention to our veterans, long after they've stopped serving and long after they've been buried with us.
Next at 5, a man from Walton, New York is heading to the World Indoor Kite Flying Championships in China next month. Our own Mark Webster sat down with kite expert Mike Stellagros. Let's listen in.
It seems like a real non sequitur, kite flying indoors. How does that even work?
It's very lightweight kites. My kite is about 2 foot by about 3 foot, and it weighs 9 grams. That's about as much as a nickel and a penny put together.
That's pretty light. And I guess it has to be light since you don't have what you usually have to power a kite, which is the wind.
Correct.
You then supply the power. Is that how it works?
Yeah, I supply the power. So I am constantly moving, but I'm not running. It's a very slow walk, and you just guide the kite by pulling on the line or letting it out. The faster you pull the line, the higher it climbs. Then by maneuvering the kite, you can make it do different tricks.
How in the world did a guy from Walton, New York, wind up getting into this?
I used to own a gymnastics equipment supply company, and I was supplying equipment to an event in Wildwood, New Jersey. And I was in one convention hall, and they had indoor kite flying in the other convention hall. And I walked through the door. They told me about it. They let me try it out with one of their kites, and I was hooked. That was about 15 years ago.
I had not heard about indoor kite flying. How widespread is this in America and the rest of the world?
In America, it's not real widespread. In the kiting community, people know about it. The numbers nationwide are not huge, but in the rest of the world, it's very popular.
Oh, interesting. How big of a space do you need to do this?
A basketball court is perfect. I work on 30 feet lines, so a 25-foot ceiling and a basketball court really works out well.
Now, you not only got into this as kind of a fun thing to do, but you actually do it competitively. Tell me about that.
You put routines together to music, and you're judged based upon how well you maneuver your kite and make it do different elements. There are not required elements. You just make up your own routine. They want to judge you on how well it goes with the music and audience appreciation.
It has some ties then maybe to your gymnastics background. It sounds a little bit like maybe rhythmic gymnastics, or at least a cousin to it.
A cousin to it, sure.
What sort of tricks can you do with an indoor kite?
One of the difficult ones that I do is I make the kite fly about 2 inches above the ground for a full circle. You make it do turns on its axis. I do what I call a lasso, where I make it look like I'm swinging a lasso, and it goes over my head and over to either side. So there's a number of things that I can do with my single line kite.
I think if I tried something like that, I'd wind up like Charlie Brown flying his kite.
Oh, it happens. It happens. I've had my glasses get caught on the line. I tripped and fell one time and hit my head on the floor and had to get stitches.
I did not realize indoor kite flying was such a dangerous activity.
Neither did I.
That's Mike Stulligros, who's heading to the Indoor Kite Flying Championships in China next month. If you want to hear the full interview, you can subscribe, listen to, and share this feature and all of Family Life's original podcasts at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or at familylife.org.
Sometimes the wisest move is to wait. Hi, I'm Rob West with the Faith and Finance Minute. Here's a word of advice for high school graduates and their parents. It won't fit every situation, so take it for what it's worth. Don't rush into college. Consider taking a gap year first. There are 3 key benefits. First, working for a year can help you earn money and reduce future college debt. Second, a year on the job helps build real-world skills like discipline, responsibility, and perseverance that will serve you well in college and beyond. Third, taking extra time to reflect gives you space to make wiser decisions about where to go and what to study. If college feels like it's coming too fast, a short, intentional pause might help you move toward greater clarity, confidence, and long-term financial wisdom. Get biblical answers to your financial questions in the FaithFi community. Download FaithFi, Faith and Finance, in your app store or visit faithfi.com.
Coming up on the 5 o'clock report, launching a teenager. A lot of us are feeling it right now, but perhaps not as much as Archie Wilson. His story after weather.
Hi, I'm Kevin Williams, and here is your Family Life regional weather forecast. The beat goes on. More tranquil, pleasant conditions are ahead in the pattern that'll carry us through the rest of the work week. Our next chance of rain, not coming till about Sunday, Monday. That's when a cold front will approach. Our call for tonight, beautiful evening. It'll be cool to chilly again overnight. And again, there'll be patchy fog in the usual suspect valley locations. Late and low temperatures, 40s and low 50s generally. Then for tomorrow and Thursday, good deal of sunshine. Some patchy cloudiness now and again. And seasonally warm with high temperatures ranging in the 70s to near 80. And comparable conditions are expected for Friday and for Saturday as well.
All right, Kevin, thank you. Finally at 5. Family love. There was a neat moment after a Nebraska Cornhuskers game this past weekend. Archie Wilson is a 19-year-old football player recruited from Australia. He lost his composure, though, when the press asked him about his mom, dad, and 2 younger brothers at home.
Yeah, I love them a lot.
His emotional interview going viral.
Yeah, that's the tough part about being here. I love them a lot and I miss them.
Halfway around the world, his parents, Jessica and Lee, were surprised to see the interview when they woke up.
All of a sudden the question came, and then the tears from all of us as well. But we knew he was fine.
And it's nice as parents to know that the state of Nebraska
loves him and looks after him, and the people are here to help him.
Then days ago, after months apart and 28 hours of travel, his entire family came out for Saturday's home opener. Fans reacted to the family reunion.
Family's everything. We got you, bud.
It was so heartwarming and just like touching.
It was cool to know that they were out there enjoying it at the same time as I was.
A 19-year-old's first time away, but feeling the love of mom and dad. And that's the world that we live in for Tuesday, the 9th of September. I'm Sarah Harnish, and this is the 5 o'clock report on Family Life.
Thank you for listening to this Family Life News podcast. If you've been encouraged by what you've heard, please share it with others and click the subscribe button to automatically receive future episodes. Family Life is a listener-supported ministry. Podcasts like this are made possible by your financial partnership. Find out more at familylife.org.